Shalom Yasharallah. First and foremost, I'd like to give all glory, honor, and infinite praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, B'chachodash. Double honors to the beloved elders and the apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to all you hopeful Lekdakim out there laboring that are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. This is your brother Amar from the GMS Boise, Idaho camp, and I wanted to do this lesson based on the recent development with a reaction, a consequence of what was passed, talking about the big beautiful bill. And the big beautiful bill, one of the major things of the 2,000-page bill that was passed a couple months ago was the integration of artificial intelligence in the government. And the artificial intelligence, mainly one of the main softwares that they're using is called Palantir. And Palantir is just artificial intelligence software that I'm going to go through some questions that I asked, or a question that I asked ChatGPT, and it gave me some very insightful responses that I wanted to just explain, because that is just another instrument of Esau's weaponry that he's going to use against the elect, the 1/3, to attack the believers. This is something that's going to be integrated into everybody's life. And we all have seen the movies like Terminator, Matrix. Whenever machines become, or how they say, self-aware, it's only ever detrimental for humanity. Whether we understand, it goes without saying, we don't have to mention this, even though we do, but Esau is just an instrument. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is the one that's allowing him to do this, because it's a part of his prophecies. And this is just one of many tools that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has given Esau to be able to enact the prophecies that are written. And so this is 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So I wanted to go into the prompt that I asked. And the question that I asked ChatGPT was, how is, and I misspelled it at that time, but Palantir, how is Palantir being used in our government here in the USA? So, because that is what happened when the big beautiful bill passed, and this is just going into, the basics. I'm not saying I'm an expert, but this is just some basic information that brothers can recite, based on this response, and then other videos, and as we get more information. But this is something that we already have known, that Esau has a mass surveillance system. We all remember that video years back when that sheriff was talking about the yellow dots, the red dots, and the blue dots on people's mailboxes, that when they go and do their roundup or whatever, they're not going to need to take the time to go fucking put stickers on people's mailboxes. Everyone is going to have a digital ID in the form of a charagma. But before the charagma, the system is going to be set up. The system of surveillance has to be set up before they give you the charagma. Because what's the point of giving you a charagma if there's no way that they can, decipher the information that's coming in from people's charagmas? So again, the question I asked the prompt in ChatGPT is, how is Palantir being used in our government here in the USA? And this is the answer. Here's an overview of how Palantir is currently being used by the U.S. government based on recent developments. And I'm going to skim through these, but I wanted to touch the highlighted points. But this is military and defense. This is Palantir's AI-powered data analytics platform. MSS plays a pivotal role in the Pentagon operations. Initially launched in 2024 with a $480 million prototype contract, it has since expanded through a $795 million Army contract, raising the total ceiling to nearly $1.3 billion through 2029. And what does it do in the military? This says this tool aids in processing imagery and sensor data from drones, satellites, etc., to assist human analysts with target recognition and tactical insights. So it's gonna be able to scan pictures and say, hey, this is a missile silo right here. Oh, this is a place of frequent training grounds or whatever it is, you know. So this is it's going to be used during special operations, U.S. Army enterprise wide contracts, which is when they go out into these other countries and they make deals with the governments or whatever they're in. This is Homeland Security, immigration, and civil agencies. This is ICE and Department of Homeland Security. This is a major one right here, because this is what they're going to be used to get all those cameras from Lowe's, from Home Depot, the license plate readers, the flock camera systems that were approved to be set up throughout the United States, which are connected to this artificial intelligence that is going to be analyzed by the Palantir data centers and AI powerhouses that were given authority by the government. This is Palantir provides ICE with tools like investigative case management system used to manage investigative data that renewed blah blah money in 2022. A recent report, $30 million contract is funding a new AI system called Immigration OS, aimed at tracking and managing undocumented individuals, with the prototype expected by September 25, 2025. That is pretty much a month, less than a month from now. Less than a month from now, they want this system up, because they're getting these major retail stores like Walmart, Target, Coca-Cola, you know, these corporations that would gladly give their information over to the government so that it can be processed or whatever, or be connected to the Internet of Things so that the AI can attack anybody they deem as an enemy, ultimately going after the men of the Lord. You know, this may sound conspiracy, but all this is very much has to do so with Esau's power structure, and everything comes back to the scriptures, because the Lord gave him this power. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai was the one that allowed this man to furbish that sword, which this is a part of that sword. You know, so again, we see all these things happening, and are we gonna not report on it? No, we're gonna be that dog and we're gonna bark. You know, and this is a health, public safety, and veterans affair. You know, so this is going into them managing how they take care of their veterans, their payment systems, medical and stuff like that. You know, as well as other things we know they're gonna sneak in there. Diplomacy and government efficiency. So let me tell you this. This is through the grapevine, and what I heard is that all the Doge employees that came in were ex-Palantir employees. And all the Doge employees that were fired were the ones that were not a part of the Palantir. And only the Palantir ex-employees that now still work in the government are the only ones left. So this is State Department pilot. Palantir is also piloting AI to assist in drafting diplomatic cables for the State Department, indicting its reach into executive and foreign affairs workflow. So they're going to have AI start writing speeches for them and how to go about political disputes. So again, this is major. So controversy and oversight, and this is the critics, especially civil rights advocates, raises serious concerns over privacy and civil liberties. Palantir's tools have been implicated in deportations, surveillance, and predictive policing that target vulnerable populations without sufficient oversight. So pretty much, if they put a prompt into these computers, these people are being, targeted without committing a crime. You know, even certain names of, let's say this, of a Northern Kingdom heritage, the Spanish-speaking tribes, they're finding that their names are being completely wiped from databases. You know, so for example, myself, you know, I have a very, you know, so-called Mexican last name. If they decide to wipe my name from the system, what's the difference to say that they can't call me an illegal immigrant when I was, you know, born here, you know, etc. You know, family has citizenship, so But they could easily say, oh, no, you're not a citizen. We can't find you in the database. Go to fucking Uganda. So you see where this is going when are going to use all their tools to attack us, and just this AI is the next step. So this is, a lot of, information. So I just had this prompt in ChatGPT, and anybody can go and ask the same question that I did, and you guys can see the response that ChatGPT gives you. And again, the question that I asked it was, sorry, I was looking at bonsai trees earlier. This is how is Palantir being used in our government here in the USA, and it'll give you a breakdown, about what I talked about. So I want to get a couple more scriptures though, and I believe it's Isaiah 19, but I'm gonna Google it. Sword furbished, then make. Ooh, it's Ezekiel 21. Salakia. This is Ezekiel 21:9. It says, "Son of man, prophesy, and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, say, a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree." Amen. So when we see Esau planning these mass surveillance, mass database collection, so that he can have his lists, his hit lists, his list of people that are going to comply, the list of people that are going to be intimidated, the list of people that he just wants to unalive, is being collected right now. And it's going to be going into hyperspeed when AI is integrated into it. Because from 20 years ago, or let's say this, from 40 years ago, of you having to take hours and hours to look through the library, that could even take days, if not weeks, to find a little bit of information. A little bit earlier, 20 years down the line, you could go into a library or go into a school, whatever. Let's say, Salakia, not too much after that, you could go and have access to the internet. You could look things up. Now everybody has a phone. Flat screens are everywhere. Little skinny laptops, everybody has access to it. But now everyone has access to it in their phone, and now it has been given an artificial intelligence. So things and articles can be ciphered through like crazy. Like you can go into Google, and it even goes to show you how many articles it has scanned in seconds looking for an answer to your question. And that is just a difference of and showing you that this sword is being raised up rapidly. And this is, what is it? Knowledge increase. And this is also a part of prophecy as well. This is Daniel 12:4. This is, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and from, and knowledge shall be increased." Because again, we always say this, we understand more than what the prophets did in the ancient world. And that's not to say anything disrespectful to the ancient prophets, but the prophets in the ancient world were recording and writing down the visions that they were receiving. They weren't receiving the breakdowns in its fullest until they're in their reincarnation in this time. The prophets that are out on the highways and byways in this time, breaking it down correctly, reading the words of the scriptures to expound on what that knowledge is talking about that is increasing. That is everybody being able to have access to the internet, any question they have on their head, easily answered, but as well as, the great increase of knowledge, it's also bad people that are going to use it, in the sense that Esau, Edom, is going to weaponize it and use it to keep our people down. Because we understand that, hey, this earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So if anything is in this world and Esau is in rulership, it is ultimately going to be turned to be weaponized against the children of Israel. Because this is always and has been a battle for the righteous against the wicked, the seed of the wicked and the seed of the righteous. And we have to always remind you that this is the devil's world. And this is a consequence of us not following Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and following after these other idols. So it is imperative for us to understand the perfect will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and to show our people in real time what this devil is doing. And that is why we are blessed to be in this position, to be able to see this information, and Lord willing, make an edifying video to the best of our ability to warn the elect and the remnant. But this is Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof, if not where and who is he? Because only a demon like this, and demon, which means intelligence, would do something like this, man. In the sense that Esau only wants to make this world more of a, like Elder Apostle Tahar says, a prison planet. So, I just wanted to put in my 2 cents on the Palantir, and just goes to show you that ChatGPT and these AI prompts, they know that it is what it's about, man. And these flock camera systems, these new data collection centers that are popping up everywhere across the United States, that is to store, all the information of everybody's charagmas and the coming new age of information type artificial intelligence societies, man. So that Esau can completely have his eye on you, even more so, until he can ultimately get a charagma inside of you. And that is the main goal. Gradualism, slowly turning up, people accepting Esau having complete and utter control and surveillance and no privacy in their life, man. And that's what this is coming to. So, amen. Lord willing that this lesson was edifying unto the elect. Till next time, I'd like to give all glory, honor, and infinite praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rechach Wadash, and double honors to beloved elders and the apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth. And peace and salutations to all you hopeful elect Akim out there laboring, that are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. Till next time, Lord willing, Shalom.